You ever been in one of those arguments where you're just so fed up you wish someone, anyone, would just step in and fix it for you? Well, you might want to be careful what you wish for. There's an ancient fable with a serious warning for us about who we invite into our fights, because sometimes the one who offers to help is really just hungry. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's imagine this for a second. You're in a spat with a coworker. It's not a huge deal, but things are getting heated. What's your first move? Probably to loop in a manager or maybe even HR, right? You just want someone to make a call. But this old story suggests that choosing your judge is probably the single most important and most dangerous decision you can make.
Because this story is a chilling reminder that the person you pick to settle your fight, well, they might just be a predator in disguise, one who is just waiting for an invitation to the party.
Our story starts the way a lot of big problems do, with something small, a cozy little home, and one simple, careless mistake.
So we've got a rabbit. Think of him as just a regular person, a homeowner. Could be any of us. And he makes a tiny mistake. He forgets to lock his door. That's it. But then along comes an opportunistic weasel who sees that unlocked door as an invitation and just moves right in.
So the rabbit comes home, and as you can imagine, he is furious. He's like, "Get out of my house!" But the weasel's already made himself comfortable. He refuses to budge. And just like that, a simple mistake has blown up into a full-on conflict, and neither of them is willing to back down.
And here's the thing about fights between two small creatures. They tend to create a power vacuum. And that vacuum is just begging for something much bigger and a whole lot hungrier to come fill it.
And that's when the cat shows up. Oh, he doesn't look like a threat. He presents himself as this wise, almost holy figure. He hears them arguing and so generously offers to lend his wisdom and settle this petty little fight. And to the desperate rabbit and the stubborn weasel, he looks like the perfect answer to their problems.
Now, this is where it gets really sinister. The cat puts on a little show. He says, "Oh, I'm a bit hard of hearing, you see. You'll have to come closer. Plead your case right next to my ears." It's a brilliant move, really. It's designed to get them to willingly ignore their instincts, to walk right into striking distance. And just like that, the trap springs. As they lean in, totally focused on winning, on being proven right, the cat drops the act and shows its true colors. The judge they were hoping for? Yeah, he's actually an executioner.
So, was the dispute over the house settled? Oh, absolutely. The rabbit lost his house, the weasel lost the house he stole, and they both lost their lives. The only one who walked away a winner was the mediator.
Okay, so this is obviously more than just a grim little bedtime story. It's a powerful metaphor for a real danger we face all the time. And this danger has a name. It's called institutional predation, and it's what happens when a third party, usually someone in a position of authority, isn't interested in justice or finding a solution. No, they're interested in what they can get out of the conflict itself, whether that's power, control, or in this case, literally consuming the people involved.
So let's break this down. The rabbit and the weasel. That's any two of us caught up in a fight. But the cat? The cat is that third party that smells blood in the water. They see two people so obsessed with beating each other that they completely forget they're both on the menu.
And this really makes you ask a tough question, doesn't it? Why are we so willing to trust someone just because they talk a good game? The cat used all the right words, justice, fairness, wisdom, but its intentions were purely predatory. We have to be careful not to mistake the performance of wisdom for the real thing.
All right, let's bring this into the real world. Let's look at situations you might actually face, because the price you can pay for needing to be proven right can be terrifyingly high. Think about a dumb argument with your sibling. You decide to bring in that one relative, you know the one, who just loves to help. But instead of helping, they take all that private information you just gave them and use it as leverage to manipulate you both for years. They don't solve the drama, they feed on it. They are the cat.
Or maybe it's a fight with a friend. You vent to another person in your friend group hoping for some backup. But this person, they just get a thrill from the conflict. They're not rooting for you to make up, they're enjoying the show. And in the end, your privacy is gone, the friendship is toast, and the cat got their entertainment.
And let's go back to that first question, the fight with your coworker. You escalate it to that senior exec who's famous for being a problem solver. You go in asking for a verdict, and boy, do you get one. The executive solves the problem by firing both of you. The conflict is gone, sure, but so are your jobs. The cat wins. Again.
But here's the good news.
This fable isn't just a warning. It actually shows us the way out. There's a much smarter way to handle conflict, one that doesn't involve inviting a predator over for dinner.
So, what have we learned? First, and this one's huge, sometimes it's better to lose the house than to lose your head. A small loss is better than total annihilation. Second, if you need a mediator, find someone who has absolutely nothing to gain from your conflict. And finally, remember this. An imperfect peace that you make yourselves is always, always better than a perfect judgment delivered by a claw.
So this all leads to a new way of thinking, a new mantra for dealing with conflict. First, try to settle things directly and with grace. 2, always be aware of the cats who might be lurking, just waiting for a chance to pounce. 3, value your well-being and safety way more than your ego's need to win. And 4, remember that you are the master of your own resolutions.
And the fable leaves us with this one final, powerful thought. The next time you find yourself in a fight, just remember this. Solve your problems with your heart, or you might just find them solved by a stomach.